I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get matched down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at villageXchange@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in a Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go on the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed. And a child shall lead them.
To buy our merch.
Dear listener, if you buy our merch, send us an email, villageXchange@gmail.com, with your beautiful, sexy self in the shirt, and then we will feature your beautiful, sexy self in one of these amazing videos.
Please wear more than just the shirt. I'll never forget that other picture.
I don't even know why you brought that up.
Because remember Homeboy?
Oh no! How could one forget?
It was a comical picture, I have to say.
That's what you say. That's what you say.
It was a brave move.
We will not post shirt-only pics on our channel.
Yep.
Speaking of which, it has nothing to do with anything, but I want to transition out of that horrific moment in my life. This is the English breakfast stream. Yes, dear listener. Those who
feeling hungry?
4 songs or more have a DJ stream. Sometimes they go up to 8. That's a mega stream. We're going to have an ultra stream coming very, very soon. Actually, before I got to come up with a different title because the one that we were talking to before we left, I was going to call that the ultra stream, but now we're going to have to come up with a different title. Shout out to Alex McLean.
All right.
And we have intros for each one of these thingamajiggies. Por favor.
Okay.
Per favor. So here we go. Our DJ here is actually an English chef. Huh? So she's all right. About the foods.
Welcome to another full English breakfast. So put the kettle on, get the teapot hot, slam in the toast, and don't burn the bacon. I burnt bacon today. Tonight, our intrepid reactors will be checking out some more black metal treats from Greece, Germany, Russia, France.
Wait. Greece, Germany, Russia, and France. Okay.
Mm-hmm. The first one, the artist is Yoth Iria. The track is Under His Sway. The country is Greece debut EP released 2020. Label, Pagan Records, but the release initially came out on Repulsive Echo. The genre is black metal with a trad old school and occult black metal vibe. Yoth Iria are from Athens, and they were formed by Mutilator, who has played with Rotting Christ and Verathron, and Magus from Necromantia and Thou Art Lord in 2019. So, ladies and gentlemen, sit back and get your tea ready. We are about to start.
Wait, Greece, Germany, where? Russia?
Greece, Germany, Russia, France.
And France. Uh-huh.
Yep. Oh, it's presented in Dolby, Vin and Sori scope.
What?
Presented in Dolby and Vin and Sori scope.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
I don't know. I always feel like just, Tina's just too smart for me. So a lot of times I just smile and nod.
Okay.
I don't know. Isn't that like some sound system?
Yeah, like Dolby surround sound.
Yeah, so I think that's what she's playing off. That's my guess.
All right, so check.
But I'm not at the stream. I'm not at the.
We have the veritable United Nations here, ladies and gents. So we got Greece, Germany, Deutschland. Shout out to Deutschland for the good product.
Well, I'm glad this is taking a while because
Greece, Germany,
need to get in there.
You know what? I almost feel like I should I'll put the Russian flag over here because the colors and the scheme of the Russian flag and the French flag are way too similar, which you shall see in a second.
Oh,
so I'm gonna do that.
Yeah,
we're gonna get fancy here, ladies and gentlemen. And if you don't like it, go to another boring YouTube channel who has no culture and doesn't respect other countries.
Yeah.
People are like, yo, we don't know when this guy's gonna melt down.
Seriously though, that plate of food is making me hungry.
You gotta respect it, man. You gotta respect these people, man.
Out of everything that's on that plate, tell me in the comment section what you're eating first. I am eating a mushroom first.
Disgusting.
And then a tomato.
You're not a Christian.
Then a sausage.
You're clearly not a Christian.
I'm not touching those I'll take one bite of the beans just to make sure I still don't like them. I'm definitely not touching the blood sausage.
That's just...
The eggs, I'll dip my toast in them.
You'll dip toast in egg? What a horrific...
Yeah.
What a horrific practice.
That's actually pretty yummy.
What a horrific practice. Here we go. Greece, wow. Germany, Russia, and France, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that.
F. Virland is headed to another channel. Bye. Hey, what's up, Revo? I saw that you emailed me. I'm going to go in there and check that out.
All right, guys. Here we go. The first band is Greek, actually. And the name of the band is Yoth Iria.
Under His Sway.
The name of the song is Under His Sway. Let's do it. Whoa, the devil. marmalade picking, ladies and gentlemen. Whoa! Let's go! Yoth Iria.
All right.
First of all, that's a badass name. That, dear listener, was Greece. Shout out to freaking Greece. Holy smokes, we got the UN here, dear listener. Boom, boom,
Okay,
boom.
that.
Gang, gang.
I was surprised to find I liked it.
Yeah, you usually don't like. Hey, we even got Vlad in the house today. We in good shape, bro. I've got a running theory that Vlad is like a Jambi. I think Vlad and Jambi. You know how like
yeah.
the same person. I think Vlad and Jambi are like the same person.
I actually think that's a really good idea, and I could see why people would do it.
Yeah.
You spend a lot of time online.
Yeah.
And like you're, especially if you're like you're like a dick. You're like Ben Webb, and so you like, but you can't always be like that.
Correct.
So then you gotta come in and you gotta be a softer figure. So.
That's the way that we win friends and influence people. We insult our constituents. But when you
hey, he gets what he gets.
When you insult people, you always get away with it. You were mocking me because of my legs and shit.
Oh well.
That was Grease, dear listener.
I never understood why everybody went along with that, but nonetheless, they did.
That was Grease, dear listener.
You know what's funny is when we first started joking about your legs. Well, actually, you know what? Tina's the one that started it. To be honest with you, yeah, you started it, and then she messaged me and she told me to get in on it, and I was like, "Word, all right, I'll jump in on it." So I did.
Mock my husband.
Stop it. It started a whole bunch of stuff, and then I noticed that when we would go to shows for like a little while, people would be like,
yeah, people would be checking out my
they
legs.
were looking at his legs.
Like, damn, how they afford such amazing prosthetics?
Well, no, you don't go in shorts, so yeah, they're smooth moving.
Hey, Gershok just dropped an EP.
Hey, what's up?
Okay, so here we go. First band was Yoth Iria. I think that's how you pronounce it. They are from Greece. As you notice, dear listener, we've got Greece, Germany, Russia, and France.
Yeah.
And these guys qualify as black metal. I'm assuming because of
the
content,
vocals.
Maybe
the vocals.
Content, maybe the vocals. But this was we're coming in loud apparently. You know what I'm saying? My gain is pretty low.
You guys or Vin?
My gain is pretty low. Let me turn that down a little bit. What about
it's
your
coming
gain?
in loud over here
your
too.
Gain. Your gain is decent.
It's so funny because everybody growing up was always like, "Ugh, sorry, so loud. You're so loud." And now, like, I'm quiet compared to you.
That's right. And my mom was like, "Hey, you go Vin with your mouth. We can hear you from across the yard." She was right. especially when playing baseball. Forget it. Okay.
I am the throne of your existence.
First, does anybody know, Tina, does anybody know what the pre-chorus was when it was like right before it was going into the thingamajig?
I mean...
Here's what I mean.
The chorus...
Right here. Demon Hills?
Yeah, that's what it sounded like.
Okay, so
yeah,
Tina,
it's definitely sounded like he was saying.
Do you know what he was saying? Was he saying
something Demon Hills?
Demon Hills? Demon, that like the little pre-chorus before the chorus. So I don't know. If anybody knows what he was saying there, I'd be very, very, very intrigued.
Yeah.
But this is Grease coming up, ladies and gents.
Okay, so.
Okay, now we can talk about the lyrics, babe. Go ahead.
Well, sonically, I liked it. It had like some rising action in it, I guess,
yep.
and then I just don't usually like this type of music, but the way that it was, like, I got really into that rhythm.
Yes.
So.
Oh, it could be Dios, which would be God.
But he was saying Hill after. Dios Hill?
Dios Hill.
Something like that?
But yeah, that can go either way.
Right.
But Dios, that's not the Greek term for God, is it? It's Theos, right?
Oh, yeah, I think you're right.
Theos, depends on how you pronounce it.
So lyrically, I was confused at what we were talking about, per the usual. I am the throne of your existence. I am the shadow of your remorse. Whether you look at me or not, you will be part of me. So at that point, I was like, okay, are we talking about like a person or a thing that reminds them of something that they regret, but...
Or Deus, which would be Latin for God.
But it still sounded like they were saying hill.
Yeah, Deus Hill, the hill of the gods. I'm assuming. Shout out to Trinity in the Matrix. Okay, go ahead, keep going. Go,
that was a question. I asked a question, and I'm waiting for a response.
Wait, what was your question again?
From that gigantic mind of yours. Is he talking about a thing? I am the throne of your existence. I am the shadow of your remorse. Whether you look at me or not, you will be part of me.
Okay.
What do you think he's talking about?
Guten Abend, Mark.
Is it like a person, or is it like an event, or...
Well, I think, into my silent hill, your eyes, my only reality, consciousness within you, be into me without I.
Whenever you look at that hill, you look through my mind. The same hill, the same morning, just in awe, it stopped.
Yeah, so that makes it even more Abend.
Yeah.
Guten Abend.
If you feel a bliss, it will not be destroyed.
Well, hold on. So that kind of confirms it's either Demon Hills or Deus Hill, Hill of the Gods, Hill of the Demons.
Uh-huh.
It might be the same thing. Now, we're assuming, because it's metal, that this is like a demon or something.
No, I actually thought it was talking about God, because it says all about my Lord's love. I don't know. For some reason, I thought it was...
Under his sway, it's not about power. All is about my Lord's love.
Yeah.
Right.
So to me, like... But then I was like, it can't be. So I don't know. Why not?
It could be.
I don't know. It could. I guess it could be.
It could be a person caught up in, like, spiritual ecstasy. See what I'm saying? Especially that last line. If you feel a bliss, it will not be destroyed. Dancing in your blaze, rising through your storm, from the toes up until the body burns to ashes. Then it says, under his sway, it's not about power. All is about my Lord's love.
Okay, so you think what? So
that could be a moment of spiritual ecstasy, is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but what about the ashes? Look at that. When you read it together, sounds like a little ritualistic. Like a chant.
Well, yeah, but I mean, yeah, the Deus Hill is the Demon Hill sounds, yeah. Into My Silent Hill. Silent Hill is it's actually a video game. And it's like
that's right.
It's in
Yeah,
the
that's
horror,
right.
It's in the horror genre. And like a bunch of crazy shit happened. Actually, it was very strange because I watched Silent Hill with a friend of mine, like the actual movie.
You did?
And for some reason, it was it wasn't that the movie was terrifying, but the energy that it brought into the house was very uneasy.
Well, you didn't have to watch that. The energy was already uneasy with that person, babe.
No.
Oh, it's a different person?
Yeah, it's a friend.
Oh, okay. Well, I just thought that was like code.
No.
Oh, well.
No.
That's weird then.
Yeah. It was
And the person didn't usually bring that kind of energy?
Not at all.
Oh, that's very
Yeah,
weird.
he'd just come over and we just beat the hell out of each other, jujitsu and shit on the ground and stuff. It was fun. But, like, we
That's
watched
weird.
Silent Hill because we were in a
What's
video
the premise of that story?
And that was one of my problems. Like, I didn't really have a lot of context for the movie Silent Hill. I'm not sure. But I think Silent Hill itself is like, it's like a place where you go and like have a spiritual experience, basically. Because, the tendency to, in the ancient world to meet with God was you would go up on a hill. Because, the gods were on the mountains because it was inaccessible to regular people. And so a bunch of shit would happen up there, lightning, whatever. So that's where the gods lived. And of course, we know that Eden was a hill. Zion, it says Zion, your holy hill. As a matter of fact, there's an entire genre in the Psalms called Songs of Ascent, Ascent. And that's where you would go when you were going on pilgrimage. And as you were going up to Jerusalem, you would sing these Psalms of Ascent. Blessed are those who go to pilgrimage, yada, yada.
Yeah.
Yada. So, Into My Silent Hill.
Imagine how therapeutic that must have been.
What do you mean?
Well, you're outdoors, you're getting, physical activity because you're climbing. You're also surrounded by nature, and you're quoting these Psalms and assuming that they were in a group.
Yeah,
so there's the fellowship.
They would sing it back and forth.
There's just so much there.
Yeah.
Such a spiritual, holistic experience.
Yeah, that's one of the things when David was fleeing, and that's one of the things he complained about the Saul. He said, "You've kept me from going to pilgrimage." That's what he said. But here he says, "Into my silent hill."
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of like an internalized sort of worship now. It's not necessarily like going to an actual pilgrimage.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
if this is a divine being, as Tina's saying, that hill might be Calvary. That morning may mean Christ's crucifixion.
Well, that's what I was thinking when I heard it, but then I just thought it couldn't be.
Whenever you look at that hill, you look through my mind, the same hill, and that the same morning, just in awe, it stopped. So Jesus was also crucified on a hill.
Whoa, okay, this could be, imagine if he was talking to the people that crucified him. I am the throne of your existence, because they can't exist apart from him. I am the shadow of your remorse. Because you know how after they said, truly this man was the Son of God?
Yeah.
After he died, after they had already killed him.
Gershok, send me an email.
Whether you look at me or not, you will be part of me. Because I would assume that after they crucified him, like, I don't know, nobody's ever done that. That's literally the only time in human history that's happened where you have crucified God.
Right.
And so, like, what was that like when his spirit left his body and you saw his body and you knew beyond a shadow of doubt you were wrong? I would assume that as time was progressing, that the whole energy at the cross that day must have felt off. Like 100%. Something was bad wrong. And then once he dies...
Before, Pilate's wife said,
seriously,
hey,
I've got goosebumps.
Monica, she said, have nothing to do with that righteous man. Like, yeah.
Right. And so when they say, but then you will be part of me. Like whether you, I could picture them not wanting to look at him.
Yeah.
You know how people want to get away? Sometimes people want to get away from the things that they've done that are wrong and not like pretend that they don't exist.
Yeah, the shadow of your remorse. But like,
and then really... Into My Silent Hill, if he was... Okay, if this is about Jesus, this is where I would go with it. He was crucified on a hill, and then it says, like a lamb led to the slaughter, he was silent.
Yeah.
Although I always thought that was like literally radio silence, no sound, but you said that was insane, and that's not what it meant. That it wasn't that he made no sounds at all. It was just that he didn't resist.
Right. He didn't
and that's what it meant. Yeah, defend himself, yeah. Your eyes, my only reality. Consciousness within you, be unto me without I. What do you think about that? Be unto me.
You have unto or
Oh,
into?
it says into. Sorry. Whoops. Be unto
I
me.
was trying to be subsumed by God or subsumed by whatever spirit this is. So be into me without I. Like they don't want any of their existence to be any part of their existence to be them. They want to be completely subsumed with God. Which in John 17, he constantly says, I and you and me. And so it's not, you don't see that's interesting because biblically you get completely consumed by God, but somehow you maintain your identity as a separate, we were kind of talking about this before we went live, is that even though God consumes you, you're still you. But you're like I'm like a Christ version of Vin. When this is all said and done, I'll be a Christ version of Vin, but you will still know, Perk will still know me as Vin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
10,000 years from now, and I'll still know you as that's why I'll be chasing you. I'll stalk you wherever you are. So, sorry, you bum.
I like
You'll
to hear
never
that.
be able to escape.
I like to hear that.
Oh yeah, look at the Vermilion review. I gotcha.
What did I say in the Vermilion review?
This was 2 years ago. You said, "Oh no, I wouldn't like it if you stalked me." Yada yada yada.
Well, no, wait, stop. If you were a bad guy, no, I wouldn't want you stalking me. But you, as you, I'll take that.
But see, I can see this. I can definitely see this as a devil, as Tina's saying, right? Because the devil, Satan can't come up with anything original. So he can only copy what he sees, right? So
yeah.
He can't come up with anything original. So
Yeah, but how weird to say it's all about my Lord's love. Like,
well, again, that would be deception.
Yeah.
Like, because even everybody who we would say that's deceived or whatever, it's not like they say our gods hate us. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even though we believe it's false religion,
Yeah.
their gods aren't showing up to them and saying, and I believe they're real, by the way, they're not showing up and saying, hey, I'm going to deceive you today and turn you away from the living God. So, it's only people like, Eric from Vatane or whatever that are like, yes, my God hates, whatever. I mean, I don't think he says that the devil, like he believes in a literal, malevolent, powerful force that he serves or whatever. And I don't believe that those people believe that being loves them, because love is not it's not their ultimate goal. Power is. From my vantage point, this is how I'm interpreting what I'm seeing. I'm not saying that that's theologically what they put down. But what's interesting in this song is he says...
Yeah, I've only heard people ever talk about power, not about love.
It's not about power. All is about my Lord's love, which is interesting.
That's weird. I literally just said that.
Yeah.
I didn't know what those words were going to be.
Yeah.
But haven't you always heard people talk about the power involved, not the love involved? Okay, I take that back.
Yes.
I did hear like one or two women saying that they were going like into like sort of like darknessy sort of stuff because they were, it was weird to me. It looked like they were lacking in like an actual like human relationship, and so they wanted some evil spirit to kind of be on their side, and they had this sort of, it was weird. I gotta say, it was kind of weird. It was like,
yeah,
I was thinking about the Nephilim and all that when it was, but
but
that's not common. Most people talk about power, the power involved.
Shemyaza and those boys, they also showed up on a hill. Mount Hermon. In the intertestamental literature, Shemyaza and those guys, they touched down on Mount Hermon when they went down to do their business. That's why Jesus did the transfiguration, Michael Heiser says, on Mount Hermon.
Oh, really?
He's kind of doing these things. So. Like, hey, I'm showing up, even in human form. Y'all can't fuck with me. Have a good day.
Okay. All right.
So you can look at this either way. Jesus was crucified on a hill, and but see, the shadow of your remorse is a crazy line.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you make of it?
Because remorse, see, and that's probably the word I'll probably use going forward, actually, because a lot of people have a problem with the term guilt because it's our modern culture has put too much negative freight into the term guilt.
Oh yeah, I agree. That would be interesting. Remorse. Yeah.
They think that if you feel guilt, it's universally bad to feel guilt.
I know.
But the only people that don't feel guilt are sociopaths.
Exactly. But you're right. But the word is, yeah, people have used the word, and now everybody thinks.
But remorse seems to be universally accepted as something good, which is fascinating to me. because guilt can have a purely logical application to it, whereas remorse is almost exclusively emotional.
Well, I think that guilt is like people can feel guilty about something they shouldn't feel guilty about. You know, like how they'll talk about like body positivity for kids and stuff like that, like not to make them feel like, you know, everything's bad, like all their parts are bad and all of that. So, you know, like they could feel guilty about something and you're like, well, they shouldn't feel guilty about, that's their body. But I think that remorse, I mean, have you ever met anyone that felt remorse over something that they didn't do something wrong?
Well, you can have a false emotion about anything from a biblical worldview, but remorse is the emotional component of guilt. Guilt has a logical and an emotional component to it, and remorse is the emotional component to guilt. Like a court can find you guilty and you could feel no remorse because you didn't do it.
We've seen that, yeah.
Right? But like remorse is something that you feel. Good remorse is when you feel guilty for something that you've done. It's the pain in the heart that you've hurt someone or you violated covenant or whatever, you broken faith. So he says, I am the shadow of your remorse, which is really interesting. So when the person is experiencing guilt, to your point, you don't want to look at it directly, so you're only seeing a shadow. See what I'm saying? The shadow's kind of like always there, but the shadow has to, by definition, be behind you in exposure to light. And the only way you see a shadow is when there's light, right? And so, like, the guilt that the emotional experience of guilt comes when the light of truth is shined on it, but the shadow that you're seeing is this being, whoever it is. Yeah. So if you look at it from a Christian worldview, it would be Christ, and you know, Christianese for that would be conviction. This is the person that's feeling conviction for their sin, is what they call it. And that's a good thing. You feel conviction unto the point where you can't outrun anymore, and then you turn around and you're expecting God to say, I'm going to fuck you up. And he actually says, oh, finally. All right, let's go. Let's talk. All that other shit, don't worry about it. Right? So if that is what it's talking about, then all of this could be a Christian worship song, which is the way I'm going to interpret it. But if it's the devil, then, you know, it can work the other way, because a lot of evil, malevolent forces, whether they be embodied in human beings and expressed through false religion, make their literal money and philosophical money on guilt.
Oh, absolutely.
And perpetually keeping you in a guilt cycle and always trying to work off this guilt, and you're enslaved to them forever. So, you know, like that's why I always say, you know, like guilt and remorse is supposed to function like a nerve. And, you know, you get your hand on the stove, and your nerve says, hey, get your hand off the stove or you'll never be able to use the hand again. And you take your hand off. You don't put your hand back on the stove to say, oh, I fucked up, I need to put my hand back on the stove. You take your hand off the stove and you apply some healing ointment and some ice, and then you get busy healing. And that's how God has always handled me, is that anytime I felt guilty about something, it's a, hey, get your hand out of this, or get your mind out of this, or get your whatever out of this, and let's get to healing. So I don't dwell on guilt a lot, because the goal is not to make me feel guilty. The goal is so that I don't lose myself spiritually, right? And so, but horrible, I cannot think of a more malevolent and evil force in the world than the abuse of guilt and remorse.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I'll say it this way, because a lot of that's probably hyperbolic, but I can't think of a more powerful act of bondage than to keep somebody in guilt and remorse. I mean, it just, and I've never, ever seen a guilty person that's consistently guilty and remorseful all the time actually do anything to change their behavior. Not once.
Or be happy.
Or be happy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're literally batting 1,000. So if it was the devil, but if you interpret it as the devil in this song, it could get really complex, because the devil could be dressed up like a priest. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I've heard the voice of Satan many a time, you know, expressed through religious people trying to guilt people forever and ever, amen, and keep them in a cycle of guilt. Because you can control them.
Yep, much easier to control that way.
I mean, the Sistine Chapel was damn near built on that.
Right.
So,
oh yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, I mean,
fear, guilt, and fear.
Yeah. So very, 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 very interesting song.
I actually really like this one. This one's like a 9.8 for me.
I hate to do this, but so far Germany's in the lead. Shout out to Germany.
Oh, are you going to keep moving them as they?
Shout out to Germany.
Oh no.
I put Germany first, and right now Germany has the lead. So there we go.
But we've only done one song.
We've only done one song, but this song is a 10 for me, man. I'm sorry.
Oh, a 10.
It's a 10 for me.
You know, to be honest, it probably should be a 10 for me too, but I usually put it on a 10 if it's going to be something I'm going to add to my playlist. 9.8.
Oh, that's smart. That's smart. 9.8, 10 for me.
Then all I have to do is reach out to Kai
Greece
and say, hey.
is in the lead right now, dear listener. Greece is in the lead right now. If you're not in the stream and you're a square, nothing can be done. We'll catch you later at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think we've been releasing three videos a day, as well as
we were doing really good with that. But today we only released one. I think.
DJ streams. What more do you want, dear listener?
Yeah, you can't have everything.
Hardest working group of people on YouTube.
All right, we'll be coming back with another one. The next one is going to
out.
Sorry, out.
Go.
Germany's next.
Germany's next.
Wait a minute. You just said you did Germany.
No, we did Greece, bro.
And you were just saying Germany's in the lead.
Oh, did I say Germany's in the lead, or did
That's
I say
what you
Greece
said.
in the
You
lead?
said Germany's in the lead. I know you said Germany.
Hey, Jamie's in the house.